Hello and welcome. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, any other planetary placement, and cross watchers. Let's see what Cancer's doing for the good of all, right? All things are one. So, just like the other readings, because we are currently in Taurus, I'm going to use my cards that I use for the above, for the crowning energy, and also for the outcome. And for your read, I'm going to be using the shadow, because it's what you are doing for the collective as a whole, right? Makes sense to me. Okay, well, thank you for being there. Let's hope that this is going to be a really lovely read. We've done a couple of really nice ones already, and if it's not, then I thank you for being the people that are holding the torch for the rest of us, so that we can hold the torch for you. It's all about raising that vibration for the good of all, right? Okay. With that, let's see what we've got. Oh, hello. Yes. Hierophant as the overarching. I like that. It's very nice. And we might as well get the outcome as well. The likely outcome. Clearly and concisely, please. Let's see what's occurring. My hairs are starting to stand up on end. That's quite nice. I like that. Means we're doing bits. A couple of cards there wanting to turn over. Oh my gosh. King of Cups. Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. Alright, I'm going to use all three of these as the outcome, alright? Like I said, my hairs are really standing up on end here. Okay, now then, this is really nice already as the overarching and the outcome, right? So let's have a look at. Let's pull out what the shadow wants to see. So the Hierophant, to me, it's my God card, the higher power. As I said, God card. We've got here the Two of Wands. Okay, it can be to some people, can be like any sort of authority here. It's a very lovely card, this one, because it's looking up with happiness and joy. So where like authority can be not necessarily seen as a good thing, it is in this case, right? And seeing as it's in the upright as well, it's that it can be that listening to that intuition that comes from your higher power. It can be honestly, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that it is a higher power card, right? Not necessarily like, you see, that's not necessarily, and we've got the Four of Pentacles there. Yeah. So I don't think it's anything to do with like sort of commitments, like legal binding commitments and stuff. This is inner work. This is alignment work, right? And what have we got here? We've got 5-5. We've got 2-5-4-5. We've got 5-5-4-4 and 2. That's like polarity between two halves of transformation and two sides of creation of elements. It's balance, essentially. It's polarizing balance, which is exactly what I would feel your higher power is trying to achieve. And we've got the Hangman again, and we've got the Ten of Wands in reverse. That looks like a star to me, so that's what I'm going to keep. Let's have a look at your reading then. Okay, so in line with your higher power. Let me just give you a quick buzz of all of the whip round of all the cards. So we've got the Hierophant, we've got the Two of Wands, we've got the Five of Cups, we've got the Four of Pentacles, we've got the Four of Cups, we've got the Hanged Man, which is 12 here, and we've got the Ten of Wands in reverse. Let me just absorb all of that, okay. It's like the passionate choice. Choosing between physical action and internal. It's like physical action and emotional action here. A choice between the two with passion. It's like looking back on yourself to see what hasn't worked. It's that internal reflection here. So we've got like that emotional reflection on where you may have used either a physical method of overcoming something, either with yourself or someone else, and also that that emotional side, like the internal side, right? It can be for some reason I'm feeling conflict from this card, and I'm feeling that like Spirit is helping you to uncover where you may have picked one over the other and it hasn't worked for you. Maybe you've done both sides now and neither of them have worked for you. So now like Spirit's may be giving you some sort of synchronicities that are allowing you to polarize to the opposite sides of both, right? So where you may have been passive in your emotion before, you're now not. You're now actually honouring yourself and your boundaries. You're looking at yourself and saying, hang on a second, these previous cycles of me being passive have led me to go deeper into a negative cycle, which is sacrificing myself, and at the end of the day is no good for anybody, right? It's like marking time while the universe is still expanding. It could be that you've been very physical in a sort of way where it's like you're very, very quick to confront, or you've been too quick to confront and been like, and that hasn't necessarily led to your greater good. Like it's like reaction as opposed to creation, right? It's being present in a situation and where something's said or done to you, you straight away, bang, cutting it off. You know can you see what I'm saying between the two, where you can be passive, and then when you're trying to go to the polar side where you're doing that passive emotionally, to cutting off straight away or through reaction in the physical. And now it's like flipping it over to the other side. So where it was like emotion and physical, it's now like you are not being passive emotionally, so therefore it's keeping you out of a reactive physical stage. So you're able to, without cutting, like without hurting, that's probably a better word, without causing as much pain as it could do through reaction, you're able to hold your breath and breathe and understand yourself and go, hang on a second, no, this isn't going to end up right for me, so I need to move and say, put a stop to this now, so that you don't become reactive, which is not going to be good for anybody, right? And that's where this learning comes in through the Five of Cups. And before like really looking at the cards, as I said before, we had the Two, which is two sides of a polarity, right? North, south. In poles, if you're looking at magnets, for example, white, black, right, wrong, yeah, if you like. And we've got the 5, which is the number of the transformation. Nearly, it's actually more than halfway. in numerology, but it's the number of transformation. It's that balance point, right? And it's emotional through the cups. And we've also got the Hierophant, which is the 5 as well, which is helping you there. We move on to the 4 of Pentacles, right? Which is here. It's taking stock of yourself, taking stock of what you are storing within this energy. So it's like reflecting back and going, hang on a second, when I've been a bit too passive, this has left my cupboards bare of these ingredients, of certain ingredients. And the reason I say that is because we've got this is the card here, and she's taking stock of what's inside of her cupboard. So it takes different ingredients to be passive, right? And you use up a lot more ingredients being passive and not actually being true to yourself, or being able to be happy to be true to yourself. Okay, and at the same time, it takes a whole lot of different ingredients when you're going to be physical with something too, right? So it's now reflecting on if you've done both sides, or if you're doing both sides, or in the process of it. It's looking in your internal cupboard and saying, hang on a second, this cycle has left me bare here and has given me more stuff here, right? And when you're doing it in the physical, it's taking a complete different combination of things, maybe even some of the same things. And then it's looking at what you are left without and what you are left with internally. And then when you polarize that, hopefully you'll be able to balance it out a little bit more, right? And we've got the 4 of Cups here. And this is like, this would suggest to me the cycle that is happening. It's like, unfortunately, it's not something that you can instantly go, bosh, right, I've done that, I know that, and I'm squared away. Believe me, I've done the same thing and thought, right, I think I've learnt that lesson, and then only a couple of months later, or a year later, and we have a couple of retrogrades and stuff, and then bang, tested again, right? So it's knowing that there are cycles to go through, okay? And we've got the copper or the pewter and the silver and the gold, right? And it's like, it's the alchemy of it. It's each time we go through this cycle, if we are observing continuously how we are returning to the cycles, we can learn more from it, right? And the 4 of Cups here, she's resting. And Spirit is bringing in not just the golden cup, but it's like the holy grail of it. So it's like physically doing your work, right? You're physically doing your work and letting go of whether something was right or whether it was wrong to you, but observing how you feel about it and being completely honest with yourself. It brings you into that stage that you're able to polarize, right? Because you're not fooling yourself by trying to make something on the outside of yourself happy. It's making yourself happy first so that it's reflected back to you in your environment. And you've taken stock here with the 4 of Pentacles, and now you're allowing the Hierophant, your higher power, to actually complete some more of those cycles. It's not saying that pewter or copper is less than silver, and it's not saying that silver is less than gold. In fact, it's the combination of all of these together, all of these materials that your higher power, like the creator, to me, God, the creator God, the first God of all gods, okay? It's the purpose of each of the materials all combined into one to make that which is absolutely beautiful and perfect. Because copper is perfect. It is in itself, and so is silver, and so is gold. But when the purpose of those are combined all together in one, it's the most balanced and beautiful it can be, right? Now, while you're resting, this could be that you're dreaming, right? You've gone through this change recently, and you're starting to look within yourself and observe that you may have been in a bad situation, or it may be that you feel like you could be in a better situation, right? Because we're always meant to evolve. The higher we vibrate, the higher everything around us will vibrate, right? This world, this environment is a reflection of ourselves, essentially, right? So while sleeping, it might be that you're having dreams and you're polarizing. You know, she's on her head. We don't walk around on our heads, do we? So it's like hanging from the tree of life. It's where we normally see things like this. How does everything look when it's upside down, when it's polarized? It's very interesting, and a lot of the time that's done when you process through REM sleep, through deep sleep, or when certain wavelengths are activated in your brain through certain cycles of rest, or engagement. So this is very nice, and doing this right brings you into the ten of wands. I think that was 10 of wands in reverse, which is letting go of your burdens. It's not sneaking around in the night, or it's not like being rushed about, having to carry everything with you because you're feeling like you're always behind. It's not like using the light. Here we've got she's using the light from her telephone to unlock the door, and she's carrying lots of bags, lots of burdens here. Yes, she's about to enter her home, but it's nice to be free. It's nice to be free. So it's letting go of those burdens, handing them back up to God, to the Hierophant, right, to your higher power, and just allowing that process to happen. And the less control we have on it, but the more passion we have towards it, the more heart we have towards it, and the more we discern against it to bring it into our environment, into our universe, right? And then handing over the control to your higher power, bringing us into that subconscious, bringing that subconscious up so that we can actually release what doesn't serve us, but also to observe the truth of ourselves. It's like, this is almost like a hermit all in one. It's like a hermit that's protected by your higher power. It's that introspection. It's like, even though this is the vanity of vanities, me speaking to you, right, trying to get this message out there, really what it seems to me, though, is like observing, seeing the cycles start again, right, and then trying to do the opposite of what you would normally do within those cycles. And even because when you do the opposite of what you normally do, it's a new experience. It's increasing your horizon. It's increasing your scope. People say it's stepping out of your borders or boundaries, right? It's not about reducing your boundaries. It's about expanding them, but not in a way that's to detriment you. Yet we don't know what is outside of the circle until we step out of the circle. It's out of the box thinking. So letting go of control of what's happening, yet observing it and being completely honest with how we feel as we're going through it, allows us that introspection that lets us to let go of all of the burdens of the worry, of the, are we doing the right thing? Is this going to happen? Getting rid of that lack mindset. Now, the supporting cards, as I said, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is positive movement, divine timing. Where does divine timing come from? It comes from the higher power. It comes from spirit. It comes from the creator, because it was always meant to happen. It's a really beautiful supporting card for it, right? And we also have the Hangman too. So the thing is, where this is the shadow work here, and maybe people can't see it, and it's probably a good thing too, because this is where we gain our self-validation. This is where we're being honest with ourselves and we're not handing our power over to somebody else or something else that can really put a detriment to your growth, because out of fear, usually you wouldn't I mean, maybe you would, but if I plant a seed, right, I make sure it's at the right season for a start. And when I do plant the seed, I make sure I'm not planting the seed too far underground, and I'm not putting too much water on it, and I'm protecting it from the sun, right? So it's the same thing when we're growing in our boundaries and in ourselves and in being honest. We don't have to. I feel I have to, because it's the way that I've learned to grow, right? But for me, it's learning to keep that to myself, even though I'm being a hypocrite and telling you the right people are meant to see this. Okay, in the rest of my life now, I'm turning into a very, very grey man. This is where I'm putting it out. Now, where I said that we had the shadow, which is inside of here, and then we had the above, which is the overarching and the supporting. These are the elements that may be visible either to yourself consciously or to others, right? And we have got the hangman again after that divine timing, right? We've got that hangman. So maybe people are going to start to be able to see yourself, or you're going to be able to see yourself, which is more important. Being a lot more discerning, and just, being happy and balanced in the upside down, and learning more about how you can balance yourself in the upside down position. It's almost like playing, that childish energy of exploration of yourself. Yeah, learning what comes from doing the opposite of what we've always done, right? And this brings you into the physical King of Cups, which is the application of the emotion. It's somebody that's wise. It's somebody that cares, right? It's like being able to be sovereign in yourself in the way that you physically express your emotion, because you're honest with yourself. You've done this work, right? You've earned it because you've gone through it. This isn't easy stuff. Most people, like, they won't do it, or they can't do it because they can, but they will stop themselves from doing it because they're fearful of the repercussions. It's easier to stay in the cycles that we've always stayed in because it's somewhat familiar, right? But this is like being sovereign in your emotion when you interact with the physical world. It's being wise with your emotion, where to put that emotion, right? How you're feeling about it. A king doesn't, like, I don't know how you feel about kings, but from the tarot side of things, the archetype, it's what you would imagine to be like the leader in that area, right? So it's and because you're going through this cycle, this hangman, this king is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. You're coming into that masculine maturity within yourself that actually allows you to interact properly with the world. And the beautiful thing is that in water, in emotion, all things exist. It's the life, that we put into the material of earth. So you can, when you become the king of the water, you can sail far away. You can see all of the life, the fishes that live under the water. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Either way, beautiful. Thank you very much, Cancer, for being you, right? And I'm very, very pleased that we've got this kind of reading. I'm looking forward to see how this manifests when we come into actual Cancer season, and we'll be picking up from there. See you later.